Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
We're going to be doing a wrap-up downtime recovery episode after the events of the Grand Rite last week. Travis is too tuckered out from both of his characters giving it their all, so we'll have to soldier on without him for now. But Terry, you are first in line on my screen.
That's a first. Hi, I'm Terry. I play as James. I am the nerd, the medic, and my ribs are kind of broken.
And Joey.
I am playing the recently awoken Connor Leone.
You have had a new awakening, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
And Bry.
Hi, I'm Bry. I'm playing Bernadette Brandt, who does not have enough booze to deal with all of this.
So I'm going to assume that in the aftermath of the event last week, the inspector was probably grateful enough for your saving his life that he's going to help you get out of there and hole up in a hotel. Might even bring a doctor or two by.
Appreciated.
All
right. He is going to, based on what you tell him, he's going to understand that there is a bigger threat to the entire world at play here. He's not going to understand what it is, but he will help you lay low for a couple weeks and then get out of England.
Sweet.
How exactly?
He doesn't know what's happening.
No, he doesn't. But how exactly the massacre at Miser House is going to be handled, he is not certain for the moment. But police officers are dead.
I think we can very gladly act as witnesses, like unidentified witnesses, and help him come up with a story about some kind of assassination happening. Because that is more believable than this guy was actually a thief and a liar and a horrifying cultist.
Why are Connor and Birdie invisible on the screen? What in the world?
Same thing with Victor.
Yep.
I see everybody.
I only see me and Theodore.
I see everybody's names. What in the world?
Yeah, I see everybody 100%.
Yeah, Birdie, Connor, and Victor are all invisible for me.
What in the world
Fun.
is this? Here's what it is. It did the fun logout thing. Give me just a second.
I might need to refresh as well then.
Yeah, you might have to. Unfortunately, you'll refresh and it'll say you're not logged in, even though you were a moment ago.
All right, well,
Give me
let's
a
find
second.
out.
So now we've got dead air. I'm pretty sure that's what they call good radio. I just can't hear you, buddy.
Yeah, it's what those radio people do, you know, whenever you want the people to relax for a minute before the audio comes back on. Don't like, come on.
And you just sit there quietly. Don't say a word.
Thought. Maybe to avoid these problems in the future, we should start logging out instead of just closing out of the game.
Yeah, we might
Maybe.
need to do that.
Yeah.
What I do is I just go back and re-sign in every week,
Smart.
Like-
Yeah.
because I am a very paranoid man, and
Well,
Reasonable.
a number of you are also severely injured as well.
Mm-hmm. James can critique how I patched
My
up
bones are
Connor.
gone.
yeah, like you stitched him up, but you know he
You were only at 5 HP. I didn't heal you. I just kept you from bleeding out.
Look,
I'm still fine, hit points wise.
I don't think I'm gonna critique you because I'm too hurt to go and critique anything.
Yeah, James, you may recall, is only alive because of Theodore's weird magic powers.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have only 4 hit points.
The one strike he took last week would have taken him completely out otherwise.
Yeah, fair.
And then, of course, Victor just decided to tank jumping off of a monster 30, 40 feet in the air.
So am I literally the
somehow
only one
still
who's like,
survived.
okay.
Yeah, everybody else
survived
is...
the fall damage.
He did. Theodore's also okay, actually, but he's going to go back to being a non-player character for a while.
I am enlisting his help to help me take care of the other 3 between doctor's visits.
So I'm going to be honest, I find it a little astonishing that given the background Victor and his son have, neither of them really have any training in first aid.
They're not concerned about living,
Apparently.
yeah.
just about killing the cultists.
I think that they're all about, you know, the kamikaze effect. Let's actually look real quick about my medicine, because I think I got better at it. Yeah, no, it's 30.
Okay. Yeah, that's base.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
My
have
medicine is still
absolutely...
30.
I have
My
nothing.
first aid is 50.
First aid is 40. Medicine is...
I haven't used any of my healing at all this entire time that we've been in London. I have not healed any of you. Wait, hold on, that's not right.
It's possible.
No, that
you have
is
not...
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did everything smart this time around,
It's
and we
because
spent most of our time
Victor
separate.
wasn't here.
Yep.
That's part of it.
That's why I never had to heal anyone.
That's awesome.
Along with that, I wasn't with you when you got shot.
Yep.
And I went from one fight to the next to the next. I never healed.
Yeah, good job
Like-
not dying last week, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I'm running towards the big bad and casting a spell. Connor's going down. Yeah, Connor's going down. He's risking everything just to spite him, this one guy.
Nope. Did not go down.
Just
down
lucky.
after a little bit of some shells going into his back,
Oh yeah.
and then hatching
Falling.
Victor after landing on the ground.
But yeah, Birdie is gonna hold it over everybody's heads that she is not meant to be a wet nurse,
Yeah.
and that they owe her now.
I would also like to say that I can say with 100% like confidence that no one else has solved these problems the way that we have.
I don't think anyone's crazy enough to jump off in the sky.
Right.
No, this campaign has been in place since like 85 or something, so it's possible somebody's come close.
Close, but I
True.
don't think they've pulled off exactly what we've done.
Not exactly the same, no. So the first thing you're going to need to decide is how long you're going to take just recovering here in England before you move on to your next location.
Oh, that's a good point because we have 3 wounded and Victor. He doesn't classify as wounded. He classifies as near dead. In my book.
At all
He's got
times.
like what, a hit point left or something.
I'm taking a look. He has as
Sure
much
he
as
is.
you do.
I was about to say,
Oh, never mind.
he has a lot of health. Remember that.
Yeah, he does. He has a lot of body. Or a lot of con.
Which makes no sense a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
For how he describes how he is supposed to live.
I think he is basically just made out of leather.
Yeah.
Fair.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give Yins let's do 1 night's rest and we'll see how you look.
Whee!
There you go.
I'm great.
I might want to stay here for a little longer.
Yeah, Connor only recovered 2.
Same.
Yeah. I'm
that's-
gonna say we're gonna stick around for probably 2-3 weeks to help work out the finer details of helping the inspector explain what the hell happened.
Well, I'm not sure he actually wants your help with that.
No.
I think he's gonna be like you leave the police business to me. That's I'll figure that out.
All right. And I will pass him a flask because he's gonna need it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to take some time to recover his own nerves after that. Overnight. But so I mean, your time is yours. You can decide how you spend it. If you want to just sit here until you feel like everybody's pretty well healed up, or if you feel like you need to get moving on.
I think I'm going to mention the stuff that I did go and what was it? Because I already mentioned it to Theodore. I haven't mentioned it to the rest. So I will mention the what is his name again? The bodyguard.
Yeah,
Trying to
Jack
remember
Brady.
what. Yeah, I'll mention that there is a letter that he's apparently alive, and that they're trying to find him and kill him because he's been causing troubles for them.
Yeah, it says he may be in Shanghai, asking that you direct your resources to hunting him down. It's stupefying that this troubling man has evaded us for so long. He may become an obstacle to our great plan. I'm going to assume
And
you'll
then-
also bring up Henson Manufacturing to Inspector Barrington.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And after some investigation, you're sticking around for a couple weeks, you said, right?
Yes, I'm going to spend those 2 weeks reading more of the lovely book that I've been reading.
I thought you might.
The Nakadic manuscripts. I'm gonna take that opportunity. Yes, please.
So he will eventually let you know that the men working at Henson Manufacturing were under the impression that they were doing national security work. That they were creating devices for the British government. This is, of course, not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, they are not able to give any more information than you already figured out on your own regarding what this is, the devices are actually for.
And Connor still has a couple from his very covert operation.
Did you bring those inside? Or did you leave those in the trunk?
Oh my god, I left them in the vehicle.
So yeah, those are gone.
Yeah, those are gone.
I can't remember if he kept them or if he left them in the trunk.
Connor has been kicking himself ever since then. He's like, they were cool.
And I'm just gonna throw it out there that for some reason, again, I cannot change like the number of weeks I've spent on my books.
Okay.
So when it's convenient, could you please do that?
Yeah. Let's see. You said the Narcotic manuscript, correct?
Yes. 2 weeks of that.
2 weeks of that good studying.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask how many weeks I have left of it?
15. This is,
You know, if I'm just going to be laying in bed, basically, as I am slowly healing, I might as well read a little bit more of that Life as a God.
Okay.
Especially since I'm not going anywhere.
So that is going to take you up to 3 out of the 5 weeks to completely comprehend this book.
Okay.
You can probably tell just from the difference there that the Narcotic manuscripts is one of the most intensive books you're going to find. As the most information.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it's what I've got.
You do indeed. There's also going to be some rewards here. When I get to the right part. Oh, here we go. Outlines. That does it. Conclusion. Alright. Edward Gavigan has been neutralized, so you get I'll read these all to you again at the end. You get D6 sanity points for that.
Alright.
Zara has been neutralized, so you get a D4 of that.
Okay.
Cultists broken up or eliminated. I'm going to say broken up. You've gotten rid of both of their high priests. There's definitely still a lot of cultists out there still. But we'll get a D4 for that. And let's see, you did defeat one of the big dragons, so that's going to be a D10.
Whew.
So we've got
Tasty.
D10, 1 D10, 1 D6, 2 D8.
I thought it was D4.
Yes, I'm sorry. 2 D4. Good call, thank you.
Doing math.
What was it again?
1 D10,
1d4.
1 D6, 2 D4.
Not bad.
I don't have the capacity for that many. I was only 1 point down on my sanity.
But you keep reading.
Somehow.
That capacity is going to go even lower.
Mm-hmm.
Joey,
Hmm.
you get to recover sanity as well there.
Okay, so it's D10, D6.
D10,
D10,
D6, 2d4.
D6. Yep.
92.
Okay.
Good lord. Okay.
Dang.
Why do you have so much?
I almost rolled max on
I-
everything. I was
I roll on
max
all of
by
it.
3.
Good God.
Yet additional rewards. Everybody take not a D10, just 10 luck. No
10
roll,
luck?
just take 10 luck.
Yay.
And then we can roll your improvements.
Hey.
It is ready when you are.
Alright. Connor drive did not upgrade. Darn.
Why did you have so much stuff that you used?
Oh, I did a lot, man.
You did so much. What?
I'm sneakier.
Yeah, fighting throw increase. I still can't believe that I passed that fighting throw.
I increased my dodge by 1%.
Spot hit.
God.
Yeah, but you got-
navigate fights.
You're considerably better at Egyptian.
I am. It's because I used insane knowledge.
And you're
I'm
studying
very
up-
upset. I'm very upset my library use did not get better.
Persuasion went up by 3. My library use did not get better, but you know what? It's 80%.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
My firearms didn't get better.
I wish my firearm would get better. I don't like that. It's at 50, but I would like it to be higher.
50's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mine's at 94 and I
like-
want it to be higher.
It just goes to others, though, doesn't it?
I remember a long time ago, we did one shot, and my character at the end of the one shot ended up getting like 105 drive.
Yep.
Ooh, my fighting got better.
And I'm like,
I'm better at
Okay.
brawling now.
You get better at that. You'll get up there again someday.
it's gonna happen.
If Connor doesn't die first.
Even then.
If he, depending on how things go, Connor might be more likely to become one of the villains than to die.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can also just Connor, are you reading any books?
Oh, sure. I don't really know any of the other books. He just knows that he read a book and was like, oh, that's a little dumb.
Didn't I give you Amongst the Stones to read?
It's possible. There's
You
also,
said that you...
you have a couple copies of the Books of Dijon.
Yeah, I already read that one, I think.
Did you? Okay.
Well, was it a one-time read? Or...
I think
Let's
it's
look at
the
your
initial,
character
and then you have more, don't you?
Oh, no, it's 7 weeks. I'll read that again.
Okay.
I have no idea how to do that.
I just did it. You're good.
Okay.
So you've got 3 out of the 7 weeks at the end of your time here in England. Apart from reading maddening texts and talking to the police every so often, how do you actually spend your recovery time?
If it's safe for Connor to go back to the bar, he's going back to the bar.
You
It
said
is
we
not,
had
in fact.
Yeah, it's
we had
definitely not,
doctors
but-
coming.
Yeah, there will be some doctors coming in to help you.
I guess I'll try and talk to them and learn a little bit more on medicine
Okay.
in my free time of not reading.
So, this could be part of your between chapters.
Mm-hmm.
You can do some skill increases, and you can do that here if you want.
Yeah.
So you can either do 2 skills you already have, improved by 4 each, or you can take a skill you've never improved before and increase it by 1d10 plus 1. But you got to tell me how you're doing it. So talking with the doctors and assisting them on your fellow patients makes sense to me.
You gotta remember, what is medicine's base again? It's 30?
Medicine's base is 1.
Oh, it's 1? Oh, never mind. Well, I mean, a 4 wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to get better if you don't focus on it at all. First aid is what, keeps you alive in an immediate situation. If you're bleeding, you get patched up. Medicine is what lets you do things like setting bones or doing surgery or...
Yeah. You know what? That's probably what I'll do. Probably talk to them, learn medicine, and probably talk to the others about how to be a little stealthier. How to be more sneaky.
Sure, why not?
How to be just pretty much just like practice on just being quiet.
And then I would like to put 4 more points into Intimidate. Because I want to get scarier.
How are you just mean mugging your friends here or?
I'm getting advice from them on what's more intimidating.
So you're trying to throw your weight around like I'm not meant to be a wet nurse, and Connor's just giving you points on how to make that seem more,
Yes.
Believable.
Yes.
I mean, Birdie is actually more intimidating than Connor is. Connor just rolled really well whenever he was being intimidating. He only got a 20 in Intimidate.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that into Intimidate.
Okay.
And then what's the other one that I want to do?
My Intimidate is only a 15.
And then I think my other 4 I'm going to put into... I'll put it into Dodge. I haven't had to do a whole lot of combat, but I would like my Dodge to be higher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I gotta remember, how do I edit it so I can go and put in the 4?
You press the lock button and it'll unlock it.
Okay. I'm still thinking about what I can do. Okay, I'm gonna turn that down.
Ah, there we go.
That is a lovely, lovely music track. It make my brain tingle.
The
The
computer lab one?
computer lab. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it make my brain tingle.
It's all thanks to Tabletop Audio.
Hey. Insert plug here.
Yeah, but honestly, it is a great site. Like, I put it on
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm just doing other stuff around the house.
Nice.
Still thinking about what I should be doing. I will ask the very weird and silly question of, hey, how hard would it be to get my hands on, like get at an airport and get a hands-on lesson on how to fly?
Probably best to start that in a new country.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I'm thinking.
Probably best to do that not here.
It's like either I want to do boating, aircraft, heavy machinery, or drive.
This is so we're doing a pulp version, so there's going to be more airplanes around than there are in like the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably it's not going to be that hard to find some retired World War I pilot who has a plane in Egypt or Shanghai or whatever other country you end up in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, me trying to fly a plane is very silly. Right now,
Yes.
it is. I don't even have a 5% chance to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess what Connor will be doing is he will be practicing a handgun. Go to like some sort of firing range if they're around in this day and age.
Yeah, that's called the countryside.
Yeah.
Birdie's gonna. Okay, in exchange for bullying you and getting tips on how to be scarier, Birdie will teach you how to shoot better.
Yeah.
There you go.
Also through bullying you.
Yeah, Connor's going to want to learn how to shoot better, act better at being snaky, and he's gonna work on a car. Those are the 3 things he's gonna work on.
Well, it's 2 things. You can improve 2 things that you already know,
2 things.
or 1 thing that's new.
Okay, so yeah, gun and snake.
Okay.
What's the improvement? 1 or 2, something like that.
4.
4.
It's
Okay.
4.
Hey, I got a fun number for my handgun, 55.
Now, I'm sure this is much less interesting, but out of all the clues you have put together, what do you think is the most interesting to follow up on next?
I believe Fluffy threw a vote in last week, and I'll pull that up so that, they have their voice. They are believing Egypt next.
He said Egypt, Kenya, China, Australia. Which is probably the shortest boat routes between each place. I did
Which
look.
Which I think that's what he was questioning on, was just like
yeah, the
just
shortest
go the
paths.
quickest path.
And I kind of do agree that going to Egypt next to like would be a good idea, unless you want to dive deeper into the story bit for James and do the Carlisle expedition.
After thinking about it,
I can't
I
remember.
think, going to Egypt next wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Learn a little bit more there.
I did look
And then
into what I
if,
said about trains last week, and the Orient Express goes to Istanbul, which is like halfway to China. Not. You'd still need to find a lot of traveling distance there.
Yep.
Ooh, maybe
Does
I
that mean
should
we're gonna
brought
have a
up my
train
bag.
arc?
If you get on a train, we could do a train arc. There is a whole campaign about that too, but it takes about as long to play as this one does. So let's try not to combine them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you're saying what we're playing next? Got it.
One of the other classic adventures for this game is called Horror on the Orient Express.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Lovely.
All right, you're looking to go to Egypt. What are you curious to find out in Egypt? You've got a whole bunch of clues up on Miro, which I'm not I'm not going to pull up on the stream because I'm not sure about the legality of that, but...
Fair.
You know that the Carlisle expedition, after departing New York, came first to London, where they met with Sir Aubrey Penhew, who obviously ran the Penhew Foundation that Gavigan has been running more recently. And he went with them as an Egyptian expert. They were there for several months doing digs in a couple of different places, and then left for what they said was going to be a safari, a way to rest from their labors. You found a couple of communications to or from Omar al-Shakti in Egypt. Most recently, a letter from Omar to Edward Gavigan, which doesn't state outright but does seem to imply that they are working together in some endeavor. I mean, it says, "In his name do we serve," which you can take that how you will.
Yeah, big warning signs.
Now, his letter, which was in January of 1925, which would have arrived just around the time before Hammer went back to New York and died, was asking for Gavigan to return something to him. If you cross-reference with a shipping manifest that you've found, in November of 24, Gavigan sent the Red Diary of Anselm de Montfort to Omar in Cairo, Egypt. So apparently that's not what he was asked to return.
So he still has his stuff.
It's possible.
Something in the museum is important. Potentially. Or in his house.
And James, I'm sure Theodore will let you see at some point what they took out of the house, out of Miser House. There is a large portrait of a pharaoh with obsidian skin. Not like a black man, but like as though it's made of stone. Which
it is not black skin. It is a man made of rock.
Something like that.
I can assume that was one, of course, what was it called again? The Black Pharaoh?
Yes. Which, in your first meeting, Gavigan denied existed. And you subsequently found, no, he absolutely believed in this guy. And Theodore did take a knife to this portrait, slashed it right across the face, and asked, did that do anything? It did not. I'm also going to tell you, you can decide whether you do anything about it, but when you go and recover Victor from Gavigan's exploded body, in amongst the robes and the viscera, there's also, there's several pieces of jewelry, but foremost among them is what appears to have been a headdress.
Add it to the collection.
Made of gold and precious jewels that at a glance it looks like, when you put it on your head, it looks like you've got eyes all around your forehead.
Add it to the collection of masks.
Connor is like, please, for fuck's sake, no one wear the mask.
If he's gonna say that, I'm gonna do my psychometry on it.
Okay.
Is there anything to learn from it, I guess? If we add it? Like, can I... Without putting it on or doing anything like that, can I learn anything?
Connor is going to watch everybody that handles that thing like a hawk, ready to shoot it or you.
Well, give me an archaeology roll, I suppose, Terry.
Ooh, my specialty.
Or James.
Why can I not find it?
Do you not have your sheet alphabetized?
There it is. There it is. I'm just blind.
Okay. So you are going to be fairly certain that this is not anything that that the Egyptians would have made or worn. Like this does not look like the type of jewelry that they had. It certainly doesn't look old enough. Doesn't seem to fit anywhere in the tradition. In fact, looking at the tool marks and the method of manufacturing, you're pretty sure this is like modern.
All right.
And Birdie, you want to use your psychometry on it?
Yep.
Because you can.
I'm not gonna put it on because I've seen what happens when they put it on. Or what happens when we put on masks in this. But I do want to ask it what it is for.
Alright.
Let's see, how do I do this again? Okay. So I roll my psychometry. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Yeah, that didn't go well. I don't remember how many magic points I'm supposed to use for that, though.
Let's see. 1d6 plus 4.
Okay.
You can choose to try to push the roll if you can think of a way to do that. Or alternatively, even without putting it on, you can try to connect with it by using your Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah, that's a 10. I don't think that's gonna work either.
Every single time Travis rolls it, it works for him.
I ain't Travis.
I mean, you could try and go and ask, like, who made it.
But
Instead
all right,
of
if
what
you
it's
want,
for.
if I am being encouraged to gamble,
I'm letting you know it's a possibility. I'm not telling you to do it.
I'm not saying you need to go and roll the mythos. I'm saying that's a thought I had for if you want to push it, like who created it.
fair. Who do you serve? Hmm.
So Travis or Theodore did get those two scepters, which he took with him, but unfortunately, what you're going to work out over the next couple weeks is when you hold them crossed over your chest, it grants you magical power, which lasts as long as you're holding them over your chest like this.
And it's once a day.
It's once a day.
That's gonna go well.
I still found it very funny that you said, "Oh yeah, you could totally do it tomorrow," and Fluffy did not catch on. I was like, "Oh, God. Daily." I was like, "There's got to be a drawback to using those things," and then you dropped that, and I'm like, "Oh, yep, there it is."
All right, I'm gonna try to connect with it using Cthulhu Mythos. It's not gonna go well, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not a critical failure or anything, so you just you feel you're gonna get between the two rolls, even though you didn't succeed at them, you're gonna get enough sense that there is something to connect with in the headdress, but you're not going to make the connection yet.
Birdie really wants to try to put on the mask. Because, hey, I don't think that anybody mentions what happens when you put on the mask.
To be clear,
Connor didn't.
This one isn't actually a mask. This one's like a...
No, it's a headdress.
Yeah.
But point is, I don't think either of the people who have put on a strange mask have explained what exactly they saw, because neither one of them believed that it was real.
I thought they said that they met someone. They didn't specify or talk about how they met them. Just that they met them.
Something like that. There is kind of a sense of shame once you are released from the masks that they were in too.
I'm not gonna put the thing on, but she's going to spend a long time looking at it and considering. Side eyes Connor. Looks back at the mask. Or the headdress. And just tries to think about it for a while.
Yeah. And as you think about it, you are going to hear... It's not exactly a voice in your head, but you keep feeling an impulse that, yeah, actually that would be really helpful to you. Just putting it on would be very helpful. But you'll spend a couple of weeks in England recovering. Have you decided on Egypt then, or are you still considering?
What was the group vote?
I'm gonna go and say Egypt. Originally, I was thinking, what was it, Shanghai?
Yeah.
China. But realizing how far away it is, and that it's just a chance that he would be there, I'd say the next best move is just go to Egypt to see what they were trying to fully get to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then move from there.
Another thing that might be driving you in that direction. So it was when he was fully mad. But Hammer did write that he thinks all of the Carlisle expedition actually survived.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember that.
So if your family is included in that, that might be something driving you to head that direction.
And I'm fairly inclined to following his lead on this one. Because it's as good a lead as any.
Okay, then. We'll give you a few weeks of bed rest. You said about 2 weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks.
2, 3 weeks. I don't remember how long we said.
Okay, so 2 weeks from now is the day before Good Friday.
All right.
How religious are any of you?
Not very.
I'd say James has he's a little bit religious.
Okay.
Comes from a religious family, but is not religious himself. Connor.
He spent more time trying to learn everything he could.
Fair enough. So it's not going to bother the group of you to be traveling on the Holy Weekend.
Not terribly. Although Birdie will respect if any folks we're with don't want to travel on those days.
I'm trying to figure out for myself. I'm guessing that there's probably ships departing during that time. I don't really know how that would have affected the shipping schedule.
To the internet.
I'm
Dun,
gonna,
dun, dun, dun.
I mean, if we have to, we can just say,
I'm going to assume that you can travel over Easter weekend, and there's just going to be like priests doing services on board for you.
yeah.
So let's assume you're arriving in Egypt about the 14th of April, which is a Tuesday.
How many days from London to Egypt again was it?
It's something like 4 to 9, depending. So I'm giving you 5.
Not enough time to read another book.
I can pop another if you all don't want to do anything else during the trip over. I can pop another week on the books for all of you.
Oh no, 100% Connor is going to be asking questions about the whole boating process.
Okay, fair enough.
Birdie's just going to be asking people about their day-to-day lives.
Well,
Just
they're doing that.
being
I'm
a
gonna
friendly
be just.
tourist.
I'm just gonna be held up in my room, just looking at the book, looking at a bunch of the evidence and notes that we got, trying to piece more stuff together.
Okay.
Birdie will drag you out for a fun night at least once.
Oh yeah,
To get you out
I'm
of your
sure of
room.
it.
Boy needs to touch grass.
What grass? We're on a boat. Touch some water. I assume that James wouldn't be sitting in there the entire time, but he'd spend most of his day in there, just reviewing over everything that we've found, reading the book, come out once in a while just to go do some stuff with you guys.
There we go. We've got a new table. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So, not knowing where you were going, I don't have the next chapter set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
but you will find yourselves in one of the oldest lands on Earth. Have you ever actually been here before, James?
I would assume maybe like once or twice, just for like a college trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably had to do some field work. Makes sense to me. You can reconnect with your lawyer during your downtime and before traveling. What was his name again? Good lord. It's been too long.
Oh, good.
Oh right, I forgot. I was going to go and probably while also doing that, like have a letter or even tell what was his name?
I'm looking. He's in here somewheres.
Ramsey.
Maybe?
I think was Hammer's the lawyer. Yeah, it's up above the Carlisle expedition.
Okay. Carlton Ramsey. Cool.
Carlton, yeah.
So yeah, so you can reconnect with him. You'll find that he is out of the hospital finally.
Nice.
Slowly returning to his practice, and he will happily disperse funds to you for your
Some
expenses
funds.
incurred while you're in England and for your trip to Cairo.
Yay! Money!
Get some more funds so we can actually buy or restock on our firearm. I don't think I got my gun back.
Yeah, I'm gonna check something with Barrington. We'll see how much pool he has to get your passports released and everything. Alright. Yeah, okay. So during that time, he is going to get it cleared for you to be able to leave the country, and you'll be reunited with your baggage.
Yes.
Yay!
Okay, got back my weapon.
But you will receive your weapons as you're leaving.
Oh
the
yeah,
country.
as we're leaving.
Yeah.
So I'll get back my butterfly knife. Hopefully.
I think you lost that to the cult.
No, if I remember correctly, they took it from me before we went to the cult. Because I wasn't supposed to have a weapon because I went to them and they took me into like custody.
That's right. The police took it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he can give you that back for sure. Okay. Cool.
That's why I had to use a rock. And then I took their knife.
And Egypt isn't lawless or anything, but they don't have the strict gun control that England does. So you will be able to acquire weapons while you're there if you want anything different than what you already have.
I just pretty much wanted my 2 guns back.
I don't blame you. Let's see. And you can find a hotel. Where are you going to begin?
Birdie's going to begin in a market, wandering around, looking at all the little things that people have for sale to get some souvenirs.
Seems appropriate, to be honest.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention. While talking, either James will write a letter, not going into detail, but kind of talking a little bit about like what happened in London. Not like I said, not going too much in detail. Want to keep it where I'm not, because I think if I remember correctly, I said that I was going to have James at least go and talk to do little updates, make sure that know that I'm okay.
Who are you letting know you're okay?
Erica? Yeah, Erica Carlisle.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So I believe I said back in New York that I was gonna at least do some updates.
Yeah, she felt that she'd already pretty much covered any information you're going to find, but if you did learn anything about her brother, she was curious.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad one.
I mean, letting her know that the museum that helped with his expedition was a bloodthirsty cult might be important information for her.
That might also cause her to worry about my safety.
What's she gonna do about it?
Yeah, you got the impression that she doesn't want anything bad to happen to you, but also you're not her brother or anything. Birdie.
I felt like it was more just felt sorry because now I'm parentless.
Yeah, you are alone in the world.
Oh, he's an orphan. We can't let anything bad happen to the orphan.
Birdie, there are rugs. There are so many spices, pottery, wall hangings, anything you can imagine as souvenirs is available here. And the fruit. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm absolutely getting a fruit basket.
Yeah, it's easy in the market to get roasted chickens and bread and fruit and bring home a wonderful dinner every night.
Mm-hmm. And she is in particular, once again, same way she was in Peru, she is looking for toys to send home to her employees' kids.
Okay. Let's see.
Little knickknacks and fun things and little perfume bottles, stuff like that.
Yeah, there'll be some dolls and some carved pool toys, little camel looking thing. Even some games.
Oh yeah, absolutely getting that.
Yeah. You might have to get James to translate the instructions from the games.
Oh, I could totally do that.
But yeah, that could be a fun way to spend a few evenings in the hotel yourselves, just learning how to play Egyptian board games. There is also, obviously, there's a very good museum. There's a library. When the time comes that you want to visit him, you have Omar El Shakti's address from the letter he sent, and you intercepted.
Yeah.
If we go meet him, we are not going to be bringing up the Penhew Foundation.
Yeah. No, obviously. I don't know how quickly they would know about that.
There's also you found a reference to the Black Pharaoh in a book that you were studying in a library in England. I'm just going to read that to you again really quickly. Rumors continue to persist regarding the French tourists involved in the incident at Saqqara, so badly handled by Mr. Howard Carter, the events of which led to his resignation as Chief Inspector of Lower Egypt earlier this year. It is beyond the scope of this letter to determine whether or not there's any truth to the tourists having been members of an occult society, so beloved by the French in the latter part of the 19th century. However, we can say with certainty that there is not, and never has been, any corroborated evidence for a so-called Black Pharaoh who ruled during the Third Dynasty. The figure is merely garbled folktales used to frighten naughty children in the same way that we use stories of Black Shuck and Black Annis in dear old England.
Will we know where this chief inspector would be?
Well, you could probably go to the museum to connect with local archaeological authorities.
I'll do that. That would make sense.
It does seem to make sense, yes.
Do that. Maybe I could find another tablet that I can learn more secrets from and push myself even further ahead.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. It is legal to import firearms and explosives into Egypt, but you have to get permits, which you can arrange for at the port of entry. So are you all declaring the weapons that you bring with you?
Yeah. I'll get a permit.
Okay. Is anybody attempting to smuggle one in? Because it is legal to have them, but then people know you have them.
Oh, I don't care if people know I have them as long as I can have them.
Okay, then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can all arrange for permits.
I am asking Connor if I can have the second 22 back, since he will have gotten his gun back.
Speaking of which,
Dual
I've
wielding.
not seen Joey for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Do not know where he went.
Reminds me, I probably shouldn't keep the other revolver on my sheet. That was a police officer revolver.
Oh. Yeah, you probably need to turn that in as evidence.
Yeah. How do I remove weapons?
I can do that for you.
Alright, it was that 9mm revolver.
Okay. Another link. Remember all the way at the beginning, you after Hammer was murdered, you managed to get hold of a bunch of papers that were in his possession.
Yeah.
One of them was a letter to Mr. Carlyle from a Mr. Warren Bizart, saying, "Your lawyer informed me that you seek certain knowledge of this land in its distant past, and I believe I can aid you in this regard. Inquiries in the Old Quarter have identified one Faraz Nijar in the Street of Jackals, who claims to be in possession of singular curios which he believes will be of great interest to you. He's prepared to part with these items if a suitable price can be agreed upon, and I shall endeavor to make sure that matters are arranged to your satisfaction." So from this, you know that there is a Faraz Nijar in the Street of Jackals from whom Mr. Carlyle apparently, probably illicitly, purchased some artifacts.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to also meet him.
And Warren Bezart is also present in Egypt, which is the agent who connected Carlyle to local sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just flipping through, finding all the stuff that you already know about. There is a newspaper. You know that if you want to know about local news, that's obviously the place to start. The Egyptian Museum. Yeah. But you said you wanted to go to the museum, correct?
Yeah. Trying to see if I can push my knowledge ahead of the others. Again.
Getting a little cocky there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Birdie and Connor, are you going to let him run off on his own, or do you want to go to the museum as well?
Definitely accompanying him.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind the company.
And yes, I will be declaring my weapon.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good. Kind of putting the maps together as we speak, so they will be
No
revised at a later point. Configure so that you can actually see it. There we go. If you've been here before for a dig, then James, you will be aware that, let's see, it's Dr. Kafour is the resident expert in occult matters. Oh, you know that, yeah, somewhere in all of your notes, you know that that Hammer visited this museum and spoke with Dr. Kafour. What about you don't know?
Ah, nice. I will mention that to both Birdie and Connor as well.
Okay.
So if they have any questions they want to bring up, they can.
No, not really.
You can decide. Yeah, you can decide whether you want to go immediately and meet with him, or if you want to look around, do some other research on your own.
Probably look around and then research.
Okay.
Then if we have time, just talk to him for a little bit.
So what are you looking for in the museum? It's obviously one of the greatest collections of Egyptian artifacts in the world. They are right here.
I guess anything that I had a hard time trying to figure out the last time I was here. Because I assumed that I was here at least once before.
Yeah, if you came here, I'm going to assume that you probably weren't here. You probably didn't get to spend a whole lot of time looking for information about your parents before.
Probably wasn't here for long, but probably got to look at some stuff, trying to see if I could figure out anything just from reading it, looking at it, just, doing my studies.
So this will be... There we go. Uh, so, if you want to meet with, some of the officials here, let's see, what's a good role for that? Well, archaeology could work, just to present your credentials and make it clear that you know what you're talking about. You're not just a random tourist. So you talk to some of the desk people, and you know the local language, which is helpful to begin with. Go ahead and roll your archaeology. Yeah, no problem. So, you'll have about 10-15 minutes to look around the museum before you'll see a man in his 60s, an Egyptian man in his 60s, come out to greet you.
All right.
Yeah. They'll say, Mr. Reed, I understand you're here doing some research. I'm Dr. Ali Kafur. I'm in charge of the, well, we consider it sort of an occult library, but really it's hieroglyphs, old papyrus scrolls. What are you, what's your area of research here?
At the moment, I'll shake his hand, say, nice to meet you.
Yes,
And
you
just
as
say
well.
that I am just right now trying to broaden my knowledge.
So nothing specific, just a general curiosity.
Yes.
Yes, well, that's of course very important. If you don't have specific questions, I probably don't have a whole lot of time to spare. But what are the general areas you're looking into?
I guess, anything that not many have had easy times trying to like translate. Try and see if I could take a shot at it.
Well, we do have our local experts. We have translators on staff. And in general, it's not, as I'm sure you're aware, it's not so much a matter of it being impossible to translate and there's some great mystery as a matter of priorities.
Of course.
Yes. So if there's nothing further, he's definitely... You're asking general questions, and he's definitely kind of turning his opinion around to, these are tourists, and he's kind of giving you the brush off.
Well, I wasn't lying when I said I'm just trying to broaden my knowledge a little bit more, trying to see if I can find stuff that they couldn't, maybe interpret it hopefully better. Again, push myself ahead of the game. Maybe I might be able to impress them if I found something that they couldn't.
Okay. You're trying to get access to the to their actual stacks, their collections, not just what's on display for the public. what are your academic credentials? As far as I understand, you're a bachelor. You have a bachelor degree. You have an undergraduate degree, but you're not currently a graduate student.
Yeah.
So, do you have any current academic relationship? Like, are you connected to a school at all?
Did we go and talk about where James was from again? I can't remember.
Well, what I'm asking is, can you claim to be a student on a research trip, or do you just not have academic credentials right now?
I can say that. Yeah, I should be able to.
Okay, but can you back it up? Like, if he calls your school.
I think I would have told them that I was doing a little
So you are
self-funded research.
You are currently a graduate student.
Yeah, I guess. I'd assume.
Well, where were you going with your education? Were you going to try to be a teacher, or were you going to work in the fields, or?
Probably work like a mix of the field and just maybe once in a while come back and do a little bit of teaching.
You're going to be Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Probably more field and a little bit of teaching.
All right, then he will take out a scroll, and he'll present you with it. He'll give you a little area to work in. And
right.
This is definitely a brush off. But if you do your work really well, maybe you can impress him. Connor and Bertie, this does not promise to be extremely entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Connor's already gone.
Where's Connor going?
No, he's just like he's
okay.
Zoned out. We're here because we have spent the last 6 months getting shot at and kidnapped by cultists.
It's only been 3 months.
Okay, fair. 3 months getting shot at and kidnapped by cultists.
It's alright. I was fine. Until we went on a raid, and then I had my bones broken.
But are the two of you going to stick around while he's doing his translation work, or do you have something better to do?
I mean, we could keep reading, but that's kind of boring for the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go to the newspaper. You could try to track down either Warren Bizart, who was the agent for Roger Carlyle, or you could try to track down Najar, who was the actual seller of artifacts. You could go try to track down Omar al-Shakti, who you know has a connection to the cult. You could just go shopping again.
Shopping.
Dragging Connor around.
You can, of course, just go see the pyramids, because they're pretty cool.
Fair. Alright, Connor, we're gonna go be tourists. James? Please don't get kidnapped.
I'll look up from my work and I'll just say, in here? I hope not. Should be safe.
I don't know if we can count on anywhere safe anymore.
I've been here before. Last time I
Alright.
was here, I don't think there were anything suspicious, but you know, I'll keep your words in mind.
Alright, we'll see you back at the hotel?
Yeah.
Alright. If you're not back, we are burning the town down. And then she walks out.
All All right, James. I think we can handle this with a language Egyptian roll.
All right.
He has not actually picked a very hard one for you, so we're not going to adjust the difficulty at all. Hey.
Oh yeah!
Yeah. So this is what is this going to be? This is going to be a description of daily priest life in ancient Egypt. Not like blessings and spells or prayers to the dead or anything like that, but just a description of how a priest goes about his day.
Mm-hmm.
What time he needs to do certain things, what they get fed, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, you are going to do a good enough job on the translation that when he returns, Kafur is going to yeah, he's going to take a little more interest in you. We'll say. Honestly, though, this is. I can tell you're not the normal rabble we get around here, but if you're. I feel like if you're coming here, you know my name, you're looking for me. What? Surely there's something more to your inquiries.
I remember. Who did he? What connections do we have that he? Who did he talk to again?
You know that Mr. Hammer was here, and you know that he spoke to him, but you don't know about what.
I will mention that I am a friend of Hammer's, and that I'm kind of following some leads that he left behind.
Ah, yes, that I remember him quite distinctly. Now that you say it, he was rather cagey as well. He was nervous the whole time that we were speaking. I kept looking over his shoulder. He was asking me a lot of questions about, what was it? The Carlisle expedition. He was very curious about their expedition, and unfortunately, I had another meeting to attend, so we didn't speak for very long. We made another meeting, but he never turned up again. Have you heard from him recently? Is he doing well?
That's why I'm following up his leads. How long ago was it you said? About 3 months ago?
Yep.
I will say about 3 months ago, Hammer was killed.
Oh my. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Was it
It's
an accident? Unexpected?
no, unfortunately. He was killed by some cultists.
Cultists? That's...
They we have reasons to believe that a bunch of cults around the world are working together, and he dug into some areas where he shouldn't have.
Well,
One of them being the Carlisle expedition, or at least so we believe.
I certainly don't know much about currently existing cults, but it does sound like you're putting... If he was killed for this, it sounds like you're putting yourself in a great deal of danger.
Huh?
So I would caution
He was...
you to be very careful.
Of course. But I do feel bad because he was going through some of this for me.
Had you hired him?
No, he was a friend of mine. He was trying to help me figure out what happened to my parents.
Your parents? Were they connected to... Oh, Mr. Reed, I had not put that together. Oh, my boy, I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Well, what do you know about... I mean, I'm sure you read the account in the papers.
Everything from the papers to what we've learned from... What was the place called again in London? What was that museum?
The Penhew Foundation.
What we've learned from the Penhew Foundation.
Oh, you've already visited with them. All right. Perhaps we should continue this in my office.
All right, I will follow.
Okay. He will take you back to his office. Connor and Birdie.
Yes.
Can I assume that you're... So the pyramids aren't that far from Cairo, but you're not going to want to walk. So can I assume that you're hiring some guides and some camels and everything? This is a...
Oh, yeah.
It's a regular journey.
Oh yeah, we're going the whole shebang.
All right. So, and neither one of you speaks Egyptian or Arabic or like any related language at all, right? It's okay. This is tourist country. They're used to it, but
Yeah,
I'm just making sure.
this is tourist country. At least one of them speaks broken English. We can make it work.
Yeah. So, you're going to...
Oh, Birdie's absolutely going clothes shopping, by the way. She's absolutely doing a full local getup.
Oh, okay. So you can do that first.
Yes.
Yeah. Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Are you also going to be wearing Egyptian clothing, or are you just going to change it to kind of the safari cap and...
You know, if you guys already talked about it, I might go and say just to go and get me some and give you guys, like, at least, like, my measurements. So I would assume that James would at least know.
Yeah.
New outfits.
Yeah, that's awesome. You can all, like, you can get a linen suit and something appropriate for being in this hotter climate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's probably been a while since I've actually fully changed from, like, my pair of clothes, and they're probably worn and ragged.
Okay, so while you're doing your shopping, obviously there are a whole bunch of merchants calling out to you regularly. But as you're trying to communicate with them, it's obviously somewhat difficult until a young man, a little taller with a shock of unruly brown hair and wearing Western-style clothing, approaches you. He bows to you a little bit, and in nearly flawless English, he's going to say, "Good day to you, and may I assume that you are new to Egypt?"
Yes, we are. We are very new visitors.
My name is Edie Musa. Have you made arrangements for your accommodations yet?
We do have a hotel, but we don't particularly have a guide, if that's what you're offering.
Oh yes, of course. And where are you staying for now?
I'm not going to tell him the correct hotel. I'm going to tell him a different hotel. Birdie's too paranoid for that.
Okay. And he's going to... You tell him the name of a random hotel you passed on the way, right?
Yes, a nicer hotel.
Okay. And then he's going to like make a motion to the side of the street, and suddenly a bunch of young boys are going to come running over, and they're going to start grabbing the bags of your purchases.
Oh dear.
And I mean, like, grabbing, just taking them off you, like they're a bunch of very eager porters.
She is absolutely not going to let them just take them. She is going to be, I am a perfectly capable Southern woman. I can carry my own things,
Okay.
and I have him.
If you want to hold on to them, give me a hard dex roll.
Jesus.
Connor, do you have any purchases? Are you carrying any bags?
Just carrying what Birdie has. He'll occasionally, if he sees a sweet or something, like food-wise, that he would enjoy, he would get.
All right, you make the same check, buddy. Birdie's going to
Okay.
manage to. You see the boys coming. You hold your bags up. We're out of their reach real quick.
I'm used to children. I'm
Oh,
used
yeah.
to dealing with children. I'm perfectly capable of carrying my own things. Thank you very much.
All right, Connor. Whatever bags you were carrying, they grab them and they run off. They are heading in the direction of the hotel that you told them, but of course you're not staying there.
We're not actually staying there now,
Yes.
so we're gonna have to stop by there later and pick up our bags. I'm fine with this.
Okay. And he says, "Is there any other service that you require?"
Would you say this is before or after we've gone clothes shopping?
Oh, they took your clothes. Well, they were trying to take your clothes anyway. They took
Okay,
Connor's
okay,
clothes.
okay. Well, we are very interested in going to see the pyramids.
Oh yes, of course. You must. You must see them. It is the very heart of our country.
Do you think you could arrange
Of
for
course.
some camels to take us?
My cousin runs just such a service down at the end of this street.
Well, let us be introduced then.
So he will take you down to the end of the street. He will introduce you to another young man. This one wearing Egyptian robes. This other man does not speak English, but he'll tell you this is his cousin Mahmoud, and he has promised that he will. He's one of the best tour guides in all of Egypt. He will take you directly to the pyramids. He will, if you want to, he'll show you the best route up to the top so you can really see the sights. And if he would be very pleased if he could continue to be your guide for the length of your stay.
As long as you will also be our translator.
Oh yes, of course.
Then we have a deal, and she will hold her hand out to shake.
Okay. He's going to shake your hand as well. Are you going to give him your actual hotel at this point, or is he going to be waiting for you at the wrong
Yes.
location? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I will inform him that there are some people that we do not want to know where we are, and I'll give him a little bit of extra coinage to make sure that anyone looking for us, aside from a reedy young man,
Okay.
that nobody knows who we are or where we're at.
Of course. I am the very soul of discretion.
My trust is yours.
But Mahmoud will load you up onto his camels and lead you out into the desert where you will see the pyramids. And as promised, you can, during this time, you can just climb those damn pyramids.
Is there a check for that?
You can if you want to, but it's just, if you're in shape, it's going to be fine.
Yeah. That's fair.
Mark Twain actually wrote about his time as a tourist there and how you would... This was obviously 20, 30 years before where you are. But a person would offer, hey, give me $5 or whatever the change is, and you'll see how quickly I can run to the top of the pyramid. And he said it was astonishing how quickly they could just run to the top of one and back down and run up the top of the other one. So yeah, it is very possible to just climb them.
Okay.
But I think that's where we'll wrap for today with James going in for a little more clandestine conversation, and the two of you just having a wonderful tourist afternoon.
We are taking a little bit of relaxation after the nightmare that was England.
Yeah, the relaxation cure, right?
Yep.
You guys are relaxing. I am working.
Yep. I mean, you didn't say you needed us.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you didn't, you can at this point be fully healed.
Oh yeah, no,
Yay.
I fully healed myself.
Okay. Anything to say before we log off for the night?
Commit arson, it gives you a free vacation.
No, don't do that.
Arson is generally a bad thing.
But the
Generally.
did we really commit arson? I think we just burnt some cultists.
Not yet. True.
And we did just threaten to burn the town down if you aren't back at the
You
hotel in
did
time.
threaten arson.
Yeah. Don't actually be paranoid in any of your interactions. Assume good faith on everyone's part. Most people are actually decent people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly true, and I'm going to uphold this game. Like, not everybody you meet in this game is nefarious.
Yeah. But I mean, the nice lady that we met last time ended up being a bad guy, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean, the nice lady that you met who immediately cast a spell on your friend to make him kill somebody.
Yep.
That-
But it was a person we were gonna kill anyway.
we were already suspicious. We just didn't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's not like that was a mystery for very long.
That didn't last.
All right, everybody, have a good evening.
Yep.
Have a good evening.
Good night.